feel like I'm at a American Idol audition. Hi, guys. Hi. Wow.
There seems to be a few of you.
Eight or nine.
Just a couple. Have you guys traveled from near and far?
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Who's got questions? Where do I? Where?
On the sides.
On the side.
The sides? Oh, the sides. Hello, to the right.
Hi.
Hi.
My question is, if you could pick one hype song for Maze, what would it be and why?
Hype song. One hype song. Bitch better have my money. He's a bounty hunter.
I love it. Thank you.
I'll go here. Hi. Hi.
Okay, so there's been some blow up over Chloe's actions in season 4.
Yes.
Wanting to send Lucifer back to hell and all of that, and how she reacted with Maze. So I was wondering what your thoughts were on Chloe's actions, whether you understand her or you feel like it was kind of a big mistake that she made.
It's funny, I feel like definitely as a character, like, there's obviously betrayal, you know, because it's that thing of like when you've known someone for so long and you've, in her case, trusted your child with them, you moved in with them, you work with them, and then to find out something that perhaps scares you and for you to react in that way, like I can understand how that would feel awful to the person on the receiving end. Kind of like when people come out, you know, as being gay. It's like you know this person, you love them, and then they tell you they're gay, and you're like, wait, now you don't want to hang out with me, you don't get to live in the same house, or, you know, so, but I also, I mean, he's the fucking devil. Like, have you seen his face? That shit is scary. So, I'm not too hard on her, you know. Maze is, but I don't judge that. I'm happy she came around, and I think Lauren did such an incredible performance in kind of riding the waves of all of those emotions. She broke my heart for sure, yeah. So, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi. So I first saw you in Gotham and fighting against Alfred.
Yes.
And
I
then,
love Sean.
yeah, I loved seeing that fight, and then seeing how it transitioned over to kind of Maze and you still being kind of a badass character. Is that kind of the roles you like to play, more of the physical ones, or?
It didn't start off like that. You know, after Spartacus, because I ended up leaving the show in Spartacus in season, after the prequel, and people were not really seeing me for those kinds of roles because they thought, you know, she's so sweet in Spartacus, I don't think she can, you know, be threatening. And or be physical like that. So it's kind of like that opportunity, I think, with Copperhead, because I'm sure there are comic book fans there, but Copperhead was a male character, and then the Arkham video made her female, and that's kind of where they went with that character, which is cool that I was 2 DC characters, and in fact, at one point, Gotham was our lead-in, so I was Copperhead on one show, and then tune in at 9 o'clock, I was Mazikeen, which was cool, but I do love the physicality of these characters. That's not to say that that's the only thing I want to play, you know, and I've worn these leather pants for 5 years, you know. I'm looking forward to some tracks, some sweats. But no, like you're always striving to have, to challenge yourself as an actor. But this character is definitely the best, most fulfilling character I've played to date in my career. So much so that I got a tattoo.
Thank you. You're one of my favorites on the show, like your character too.
Thank you, yeah. Hi.
I love you, firstly.
Thank you.
So I saw the video where you announced that Mazikeen was pansexual.
Yes.
Do you think that there would be a role for a transgender character? Because I'm trans man.
Yes, of course.
I just love the LGBT friendly aspect of it.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the whole thing about Maze is like she will love you regardless of how you identify. That's the whole idea, and that's what's so incredible about the show and about the character, because I always say this, the world could learn a thing or two about, from this demon. Yeah. And I would love to have a trans character on the show. The thing with our show is what I love is that, versus other shows like Pose, for example, where that is obviously the focus of the show is giving the opportunity to these trans actors who are, and it's about damn time, and it's telling their stories and bringing to life the ballroom from, New York. I don't know if Paris is Burning. Have you seen that? Yeah. On Netflix? Is it on Netflix? I think it's on Netflix. It's incredible, and it's our show does it in a way where it's not in your face like that, and I think that there's value to it because through our show you reach a wider audience who maybe some of whom may be homophobic or transphobic or not understanding of the trans community, but they like this character of Maze, and they're like, wait, but she doesn't have a problem, like she kisses guys and girls, and that so we are able to kind of tell these stories, and it's been a gradual outing of Maze as pansexual too. I mean, Fox was not like, yo, let's advertise gay rights, like it's Fox. I was on social, but I think with Netflix and the home that we're on now, we get to explore and tell these stories, and I think we all feel, the responsibility and like what we have on this show. But then we do need shows like Pose, to have it be in your face and to show people. But yeah, I hope we get a trans character. I do.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So formal. To my right.
Hi, I'm Bailey.
Hi.
So what's the most awkward thing that's happened on set?
Awkward? I mean, it's Lucifer, girl. I don't know if I can put this stuff on the internet. Awkward. Awkward. I don't know. There are many, not awkward, but like funny things. Like Tom split his pants in a scene. It was really funny watching the costume girls like, so they're like, TikTok, gotta shoot. But we have so much fun on the show. It's like, well, I mean, we've all heard the camel toe underwear. That germ. She's hilarious. What else? I don't know. I mean, I do crazy stuff all the time. As my character, I lick people's faces for a living. And I like it. IDB. I can't think of one specific huge one off the top of my head, but I will say we have a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Thank you.
Hi. First, I just want to say I love your portrayal of Mazikeen. She is amazing and absolutely one of my favorite characters. And I wanted to know what you hope for Mazikeen in the 5th and final season. I really would love it if she found her place, because it looks like she's searching, right? Like she didn't know if it was with Lucifer or with Invar's character. So what do you hope for her?
I think out of all the characters, she might be the one who could get a happy ending. You know, I think she's certainly deserving of it. She's definitely put a lot of people ahead of herself while learning to, you know, live in and amongst humanity. And I think that was so challenging for her initially at the beginning of the series. And I think she's come to, I mean, this last season was so fun to do, because it was like, you know, from complete vulnerability in singing to Eve to realizing, no, you're on some other biz, and my friends need me, so if this is not happening, and even if this is happening, my friends are so important. Like, that's not the Maze you met, like, with the bartender going down on her in the pilot. Like, that was not that girl. So yeah, I'm hoping. I do not have spoilers, so I am an empty vessel. But yes, I hope she does end up with whatever that I don't know what that form of happiness might look like, but I hope that she's happy. And I hope she gets to kick Lucifer's ass for leaving her. I mean, come on.
Hi. First off, just all around amazing, and you're such an amazing role model, and I love you for that. And anyways, one of my favorite relationships with the characters is Maze and Dr. Linda. And so I was wondering what your favorite scene to shoot with Rachel was.
Oh, probably the coming out scene where she comes out as being a demon through the door. I think the joy of working with Rachel Harris is she's not just incredibly funny, because we all know that, but she's incredibly deep as a person, and you know, has such a big heart and is so giving. And so whatever I need in a scene, I always, you know, I'm never fearful of saying that, you know, to her, and vice versa. And we're really close girlfriends, and our boys are, you know, Henry wants to now come live at my house. I have 2 sons. But I'd say that scene because it was handled with it was so delicately done by the director, Tara, and written so beautifully by Jen Cow, who is sadly no longer with us. But I remember just feeling like, wow, I feel like this might, you know, and that friendship was really not planned. It just happened that Rachel and I had chemistry on screen, and you guys all responded to it, and I loved that. I loved even the makeup stuff, you know, like with her, because it wasn't fighting over a boy, which we've all seen before. It was 2 friends going, hey, I told you, you said talk about your feelings, and I did, and I said I don't like that, and then you still did it. And then, you know, 2 women working through something. Yeah. Which and the writers were, I said, we remember, we were like, please, this friendship is so important to the fans, like, please don't turn it into, like, the cat fight over a guy. Mm-hmm. You know, sorry, DB, again. You know, make it about the friendship, and they did. So I would say, but that particular scene, I remember, I was so, like, it was so moving to work with her.
Thank you so much for everything you do. Amazing.
Thank you. Hi. So I love Maeve,
I love your wardrobe. I love your attitude. I love it all. So I never see her working out though. So is it because you're a demon and you just magically thin and look amazing all the time, or does she work out when on her downtime?
Girl, have you seen me at the gym?
In all your Instagram.
She works out.
Yeah, you are amazing. And
Well, she works out just not on screen. Yeah, she has to wear a lot of form-fitting, lots of cutouts, lots of leather and leather. It's part of, I guess it's part of her like whole look is like strength. I think that's why I work out so much. Is like I want to look like I can actually kick the asses that I'm pretending to kick on TV.
well, you wear them well.
Yeah. Thank you. Hi.
Hello, Leslie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Look at that beautiful. You have a radio voice. I love it.
Thank you. How's your son?
Oh, he's good. Thank you for asking.
Oh, not a problem.
Kingston, he's good. He's at the park with Daddy today.
All right, that's awesome. My question for you is, I know that amongst humans, you have to speak, you have to adapt to your environment. When it's the four of you and the goddess, what language do you actually speak? Do you speak Lulum or do you speak something else other than English?
We speak Afrikaans. Ons praat Afrikaans. No, I think the Lilum is only between demons, I would imagine. And I think, the Celestials, they speak goodness and kindness and all that. That icky stuff. No, I think it's only the demons that speak there, at least on our version. I don't know if there is a language in the comic books. I don't recall. I had a baby, my memory shot. But yeah, it's for me it's Afrikaans.
And so when they speak with one another, do you understand what they're saying if they are speaking a different language?
Gosh, I haven't gone too much, and I imagine yes, because Lucifer is an angel, a fallen angel, and he may have taught me a thing or two in hell. So I imagine I would have an understanding of otherworldly languages. I would say Lilum isn't probably the only language that that they speak, because Lucifer speaks many languages, which we established in the show already. Yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi there.
I know it's been said several times, but I really like your portrayal of Masakine. You're a great character, one of the best characters in the show.
Thank you.
And for my question, essentially what I'm going to ask is your thoughts on Lucifer and Masakine's current relationship. Because I know as the show's gone on, it's progressed, it's had many ups, many downs, including that crazy fight scene where you two fought each other, which is really cool. And so what are your thoughts on their current relationship and how it's going to go on further in the show in season 5?
Well, I think, like I said earlier, excuse me, he broke a promise. He said he would never leave her. And I think he's demonstrated, I think she's demonstrated her loyalty to them even when she's not happy with him about certain things. And I think she'll be incredibly sad, pissed off for sure. But I think that there's never not going to be a Maze and Lucifer. It's like that person in your life that you just, even if you don't speak to them for years, when you do, you just pick up exactly where you left off. You will just always have that thing, and so I just think they'll always be connected.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
First of all, I love your wardrobe. It's my favorite on the show.
Thank you. Are you dressed as me?
Yeah, actually,
Yes!
My question is there a possibility that Maggie will run hell with Lucifer in the next season?
I don't know. I
Yeah,
literally, I have no idea. I mean, she is the current ruler in hell, is she not, in the comic books?
I think so, yeah.
I say she just heads down there and kicks him off.
Yeah,
throw him off. I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I think, we'll put it this way. I think, and this is, I literally do not know this, but I think that she's going to probably, if I'm looking at the life cycle of her on the show, she'll probably have to make the decision of her old life and her new life and family. Like old family, new family.
Okay.
Which I think will be her conundrum. Yeah.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So my question is, I mean, everybody has been asking similar things about what's the future for Mace, but I'm more in the sense of like, if she's going to be redeemed, is she going to get a soul? That's what I was thinking. Like, you know, is it possible? I mean, your opinion, obviously you don't know what's going to happen. Right, that's what I was thinking. If she can get a soul and be mortal or a human or, you know, get her redemption that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything is possible. Well, she fell in love this last season, which, you know, love is it's the big, like, blasphemous word for her. Lust, she knows. The love is a whole other, like planet, I think. So maybe, I mean, if she ends up falling in love with I hope we get Embar back. Did you guys enjoy that? Yeah, Embar she was great to work with. I don't know if she can ever have a soul though. I don't know if that's like possible, if like, I don't know.
Well, Eve came from heaven when no other human can, so why not?
Yeah, maybe through love she gains a soul. I don't know. Through having learned, like, you know, being there for her friends and helping saving Charlie, you know. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see Charlie. Just remembered we have a baby, and I tell you how obsessed I was with those babies when I was my ovaries were like. I am not pregnant. I hope so. I hope that's her happy end and she gains a soul.
Well, God, I'm thinking like God has to come into play here in the 5th season and maybe grant it for her or something like that.
I think she's proven herself.
Yeah.
Yeah? Listen, pitch it to the writers on Twitter.
Sounds good.
You all know the power of Twitter. I mean, you saved our show.
Hi, Leslie. I think you're awesome.
Is that a candy star? Oh my gosh.
Would you like to see Lilith in season 5?
Ooh, Mom?
Yeah.
No?
No?
I got mom issues. She tried to kill me. With my dad. My serpent demon dad.
I don't know, Maze with mommy issues should be fun.
I don't know. I think the parent issue theme has been played out in our show through Lucifer and Vivi. So here's my hope, because it's our final season, right? My hope is that we get that every character that helped to give life to Lucifer, you know, the characters that you all fell in love with, gets to have their moments at one time or another. You know what I mean? That the story kind of services each of them equally. Because, listen, and don't get me wrong, it's been amazing having people pop in every season and do like a season. I mean, Embar, Graham, you know, Trisha, like amazing actors, and we're so lucky to have had them. I do hope that we just kind of give each and every one Trixie. I'm like, give Trixie some more.
Thank you.
Thank you. And you look great, by the way. I might recreate that photo. You know, the one with me in the kitchen.
Hi.
Hi.
You're awesome. I love all your fight scenes.
Thank you.
My question is, do you think Maze would be mad at Lucifer for going back to hell? And do you think she would understand the reasons why he returned?
Yes, she would be pissed. Maybe she would understand. Yeah, maybe she would understand. I think it's that thing about like trust, you know? I think it's gonna be like learning to trust him again. It's gonna be one of her conflicts this season, yeah.
After you kick his ass?
Right.
Pretty much.
Right.
Thank you.
All day, every day. Hi.
Hi. If there was a crazy, amazing miracle and Maze got her own spin-off show, with or without the Lucifer cast, how do you think that would go? How would you like something like that to go?
Oh, there's been so much talk about this on social. I don't know. You know, Maze is a bounty. Here's the thing about that, because everyone's like, I would be Maze following her in a bounty hunting, and I'm like, but look at our show. Like, we're not so heavily focused on the bounty hunting of the show. I mean, personally, I feel like that would be maybe not as exciting. And then you'd have to incorporate her other worlds, so like the demonic or celestial, you know, parts of her life. And with that, you would need the cost of Lucifer. Maybe. I don't know. I think I'm a better actor, and my character is who she is because I'm uplifted by the writers of this show and the cast in this show. So I think for me as the actor, I would really sort of find it maybe a little strange to kind of pop into like something that's completely separate of this world. Not to say that that might not be exciting. I have a feeling that, which is what is so amazing about Netflix giving us like, you know, 2 seasons and now like a back 6 order, so we get 16 all up, is rarely do shows get to finish on their own terms.
Yeah.
Usually a show gets canceled, you guys get pissed. We're crying on the bathroom toilet. Why do I have to do my life? You know, because it's heartbreaking. It's like losing a freaking limb. Like, these people are my family, you know? But rarely do we get to finish it on our terms, the way we want to, and to service the story and to make you guys happy, because we know it's the final season, so therefore we're writing and we're, you know, performing, you know, for that. So we don't want to leave anything unsaid, and it might be okay to leave Maze just in this world, you know, and hang up her leather pants or take him home. I'm stealing wardrobe receipts.
Go, girl.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Hello. I think we've already established that Maze's arc is one of the deepest, possibly most surprising, and very well received on the show. What I'm wondering is, how much of that was actually planned out, you know, from the writers and the conception, but also how much of that might have been influenced by fan reception of you on the show, much like your character's relationship with Dr. Linda?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
I think that's the magic of TV now and the internet is you guys have voices, right? And those voices are definitely heard, and so they're looking at who is reacting to what. They're writing more stronger, storylines for the women on our show because you guys are like, we love kick-ass strong women, so that's more of that. They're writing more of the vulnerability because you guys are responding to that and, talking about the how unexpected it was. No one expected Mace to sing Wonderwall. In that way, but that's what's cool is like we listen to you and then we try and surprise you as well. And then a lot of it comes from the actors themselves too, their ideas. Because what you write on a page is so incredibly important, but then that gets filtered through the individual person who's performing it. And sometimes your idea of how it was gonna, what was written to what it ends up being on screen is different, but it's also equally magical. So, yeah, you guys are incredibly important. Incredibly important.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi, I love your kickassery.
Thank you. Are you Mace too?
I am Mace.
Yes!
I am Mace.
Yes!
So my question is that you bring this phenomenal, vulnerable, emotional space to a character that you would not expect that to be. So how much of yourself do you have to dig into to get that?
Well, the sass comes pretty easily. If you follow me on social media, there's a lot of Maze that lives in me, for sure. And on both sides, both the vulnerability, the empathy, like it's probably the most alike to a character I've personally ever felt. And I think I think what's cool about that is like you're showing someone who can stand up for themselves, right? And at the same time have empathy for someone in need and a friend. Someone who will cut you and kick your ass and then will go and be completely selfless and like another, so it's like there's strength in vulnerability. Vulnerability is strength. It's okay to draw a line and say, no, I'm not gonna put up with that shit. I'm out. Or you don't get to say that about the people I care about. You don't get to do that to the people I care about. I'm telling you, Mace should be a politician, I think.
Hello from the Silver City of New Mexico.
Oh, hey. Is it hot as balls out there right now?
It's not as bad actually as Phoenix was yesterday. Oh, 112 degrees.
Oh.
I love the show. You've all been a wonderful inspiration in my own life. I've started writing again and doing painting and everything. And I love the way you play Maze. You're just so powerful. So. But what I wanted to ask you, did they ever consider allowing you to keep your natural accent? Because I think your accent is beautiful, and it also has that sense of otherness that Tom has with his British accent.
Funny story. So when I went in for my audition, so the thing is, I spent my entire life hiding my accent, right? Like for auditions, because it's important. It's important to be able to do an American accent if you're a foreigner. And I went into my audition, and I went in completely American. So I was having a conversation, like, you want me to stand here and do this? And, okay, great, so I'll try that. And then, cut to, I book the job and I'm on set. And when I'm on set, for the most part, I keep my American accent. So it just makes it easier, like, in my brain to not click out of it. And Len Weissman, who was our director on the pilot, when I rapped in the pilot, I was like, anyway, so thanks so much, Len. Lovely working with you, cheers mate. And he goes, you're not American? I always thought that she might have had a British accent. And I actually asked them about that because I was like, well, if Tom is going to be British and she's, like maybe they have the same. And then when I said to Len, he goes, oh, that would have been been such a great idea. But yeah, I mean, I think too with Tom's accent, like that dry British wit, it just like pops, you know, and I don't know, it works for her. I can't, like, it's hard for me to picture Maze with this voice. Yeah. Although, side note, Kevin and I just shot a short to play a married couple. I'm not going to tell you the premise of it, but I have a full, I'm South African, I lived in New Zealand for 12 years, but in this show I have a full Kiwi accent, and it's hilarious. Watch this face. It's really funny, for sure. I'm excited. Put it this, do you guys know what Doc Johnson? They're the big sex toy. I had to go shopping for our props there, so I'll just seed that right there. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'm a huge fan of your workouts.
Thank you.
Yes, so thanks for talking about that before. But I'm curious about what kind of training did you have to go under? Were you previously trained to do all the fight scenes and work with knives? And
yes,
like
I was born in Cape Town. No, I kid, but we are very sassy over there. No, okay, so season 1, Tom, DB, and I trained with Diana Lee Inasanto and Ron Balicki. Diana is Bruce Lee's goddaughter. She's this incredible woman. Her father was his best friend, and so she is this like tiny Asian woman who will kick your ass. And they gave us 3 very different fighting styles. So if you think of Tom as being like a David Bowie-esque, like, you know, martini in the hand, darling, and like smoking a cigarette while just, you know. Not that Tom fights like that, but that's we're gonna tell him. But that's for Lucifer. He'd be like, oh, hello, Tom. And DB would be more like Neo from The Matrix, like very, you know, upright, sort of carrot up the butt. Sorry, DB, again. And then Maze is just a brute. She's like from the street. She's like headbutt, bite your nutsack. Like, she's like no rules, like MMA styles. But they did teach me Filipino martial arts, so I learned with like Cali, the karambit, and then the blades that I use. I was actually our coordinator at the time, Dan Rizzuto, who had this idea for the blades because they hadn't really been seen too much, or ever, I think, at that point, like in television. And they're such a cool weapon because they have the blade is sharp on the inside and the outside, so you can slice and hook and, like, you know, flick it over there while you've got someone's like chin hooked in the blade. I was like, yes, give me blood, gore. My poor child. I mean, can you imagine? My son is going to have to bring home a partner to me.
Thank you.
Thank you. I feel so bad for them. I really do. Hi, the nice.
Hi. We've had 2 characters so far find out the truth by seeing Lucifer's devil face.
Yes.
In the next season, would you like to see Maisie's demon face return?
Yes.
And if she were to get a reveal of her own, would you prefer it to be to Dan or Ella?
That's going to end up as a meme. Dan or Ella? Well, I've shown Trixie, though she didn't know it. I don't know, I think maybe they'll want to preserve Ella's belief in like they may want to preserve her faith. I don't know. But maybe Dan, yeah. And I think Chloe should definitely see it, you know, because she's seen, I mean, she told Lucifer she loves him now, so I should be able to just like move back in, hit the shower with the devil face while I'm doing my makeup in the morning. Hands up, Flo. Drool. Yeah. I'm stupid, I'm sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
I think you're amazing.
Oh.
Love the show. So, I know everybody's talked about how Maze would be upset that Lucifer left her. So my question is, if he had come to Maze and said, I have to go back to hell, do you want to come with me? What do you think her answer would be? Would she leave Trixie and Charlie and Linda to go back with Lucifer?
Probably not. But I think the point of it is that you give her the option to make that decision, right? Or at least give her the opportunity to figure out that she would probably most likely stay and then eventually be able to go back home if she wanted to. But it's just the idea that you thought of her in the moment while making that decision. I think that's where the conflict comes.
That's what I thought. She would probably stay, but
Yes.
she would want him to respect her enough to ask.
Exactly. Yes. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. Thank you. Hi. That's what we want, ladies, right?
Yep.
Hi.
Hi. My question is, in the famous scene where Chloe was dreaming about making out with Lucifer, and Maze was sitting there eating the popcorn,
Yes.
how much was scripted and how much did you get to improvise on that one?
It was all improv.
You did a great job on that one.
Thank you. Well, we have a cast thread that is filthy, and it was not hard to come up with ideas. Hi.
Hi. I had a quick question. I love seeing all of your guys' workouts on Instagram.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about pulling together and doing a really cheesy workout video like from the 90s?
Like a Jane Fonda workout video? I'm gonna pitch it. Yeah, no, I love that we're all training with Paolo. Rachel, you should see Rachel right now.
Really?
Rachel is
Thinking of those like cheesy 80s workout.
Yes. Put the boys in the like high thongs. Right?
I'll buy it.
Right? But you know, I have a workout, a capsule collection line coming out. And I'm so excited. It's aimed to women. Well, it's aimed to women about just inspiring yourself and being your own heroes, you know? 'Cause I get so many messages from you guys saying that you love the workouts and like you want to get back in the gym, and I'm like, I have days where I'm like, oh, fuck this. Hello. But what I always used to do is I would buy new workout clothes if I wanted to be inspired to get back in there. So, because I'm like, if I look cute and I'll get back in it. And so I'm working on something that is very me and Maze kind of combined. Yeah. Watch this space.
Hey, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Whose idea was it, and who developed and came up with the idea of the demon voice? And would you give us a sample, please?
It was my idea. And Joe actually. Well, they had scripted Maze Speaks Demon. That's what they had. And I was like, I called Joe up and I'm like, yo, Joe, what's demon? And he goes, just make up some sounds. And I went, what? No, I'm not. That's not going to feel like real. And so on the day, and like, like I said, I'm South African. The only other language I speak is Afrikaans, and it is not a sexy language. It does not roll off your tongue like French or, even Spanish or Italian. And it's very guttural, like comes from your groin. It's kind of like it's a combination of German and Dutch, and then we have our own slang. And so all I did was alter my voice, and literally was just when I say, what's the line? What does she say? You need to speak my language, and I say, you speak Willem, and then I say. That's how it was born. It was my terrible Afrikaans. I hated my Afrikaans teacher, so secretly I'm telling her, you are the devil. Let's give it up for